Smart 24, driving business.
We'll be back from that commercial short break as we continue this conversation. I would love to ask Sam to elaborate more on some of the activities that are happening at the National Youth Council that are targeting, empowering and elevating young entrepreneurs out there. Yeah.
Once again, thank you, Bronia. Just like I indicated to you earlier on, that the National Youth Council has a very big mandate. And to some extent, we always call ourselves a small government. A small government in a way that when it comes to any issues affecting the young people, the institution must have a say, or the institution must design a response, or the institution must do something to respond to it. In terms of supporting young people, we have been working closely with our structures. Earlier on, I said that we have structures from the village up to the national level. And it is the responsibility of the institution to ensure that the structures are functioning, effective, and are delivering on the mandate of the institution. And one of the ways we have been doing that is that, yes, we have a role in government programs to mobilize young people to benefit from government programs, but also to ensure that they're actually benefiting and also impacting in their well-being. Through that, we have been supporting our district youth council direct from the national with some little resources, not so much, based on the available budget, for them to perform that mandate. We believe that because they are elected by the young people from those districts, they are better positioned to talk to them or give them information based on some of the opportunities available. So their interaction with the youth, as you know, they are not only at the national level. At the national level, we are only 11, but we all come from a village. So the biggest player, they're the biggest players when it comes to delivering information to those youth at the village level. We also continuously interact with the media when it's necessary and on certain issues. I can give you an example. When PDM was being developed, although we were not engaged, but we had to use the media to ensure that the youth interest is protected in the program. When the Myoga was being developed, even though it came during the time of politics, we had to use the media and send a signal that the young people must be part of this. Yeah, somehow, somewhere, they put part of the beneficiaries. So the media has also been a very key player towards us, availing some of the opportunities. We also always have engagements on the issues of sexual reproductive health. You know, when you go to the community, young girls, brilliant, beautiful young girls are getting pregnant, and their future is being shattered at that level. At that point, the parents are just looking at them as marriage materials. So we've been trying to have engagement, community-based engagement with some of these young girls to ensure that at least they shouldn't think that giving birth is the end of the journey or the beginning of a new life. There's still far much better opportunities ahead of them because they have the time to accomplish. And their dreams are still what? Valid. But also we have been engaging Ministry of Education to speed up the process of developing the school health policy, because it's within that policy whereby we're able to actually, the schools can now take back girls who are pregnant or can be in position to accommodate any kind of things that relate that affect young ladies within the communities. But for now, we have limited legal frameworks or policies to guide that. It's about the wish of the school or the wishes of the communities and all that. But also, we've been engaging the Ministry of Gender to recapitalize the Youth Ventures Capital Fund. The Youth Ventures Capital Fund is a program implemented by government. It's under the Ministry of Gender, but in partnership with the Ministry of, in partnership with Centenary Bank. Government put around 12.5 billion, and then Centenary Bank also had to put in 12.5 billion.
Oh.
But this is a fund that you can go and access at a very low interest rate.
Wow.
So you can go, but of course it is limited. When you look at, many people would want to work alone. You're given up to a tune of 5 million, and if you're in a group, you're given up to a tune of 12 million. If you're in a group, you're given up to a tune of around 25 million, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. But of course, most time, the concern we have been receiving, people say that you go to the bank and the bank say that the money is not there.
Yeah.
So you must rush or prepare earlier for you to get the fund. But we have been engaging government to ensure that let's put in some money in Centenary Bank to help young people. And of course, not only that, we have had several initiatives, other maybe can be limited to the institution, but one of the biggest issues that we have been facing is that all these things need resources.
Is accessing this money from these banks with or without collateral?
It is without collateral.
Yeah. Oh,
what you need is the recommendation from the chairperson LC1 to confirm. But also, it's not focusing on startups. You must be doing something. If you have your small kiosk there and you need you need some resources to be invested in more for you to reach at another level, then now you qualify for that.
Oh, it's for people who have already
yes, people are already moving. For people who are not yet moving, you have the youth livelihood programs that is there. You have a myoga for you to go and get from the circle. The PDM is coming, so you just need to be sharp and start. So the moment you have started and you're already moving, your business has run for three months, then definitely now you can go and qualify. You can qualify. It doesn't need collaterals.
Oh, that's
nice. And the interest rate is just 5%. When you look at the national interest rate for these commercial banks, you might find it ranging from 12 when you're a good borrower, and then it keeps on growing to 16. Other banks are giving up to 21% interest rate. Yeah. So a young person cannot survive in that. Okay. Yeah, but also we are engaging because you see our national budget. I can give an example. In the last financial year, out of the budget of 47 trillion, 41 trillion were invested into procurement. Yeah. Now, that is a lot of money. And we're like, how can our young people in business tap into this opportunity? Now, through our engagement with the members of parliament and the PPDA, Public Procurement and Disposal Authority, we have been in position to engage them to reinvest procurement of certain enterprises for the youth. Yeah. If you have a company and you want to benefit from it, you just apply. You're given a special consideration, a special additional mark, and that process is going on. And before the International Youth Day, we had an interaction, because I was alone, with the Minister of State for Finance. It's called Honorable Musasi, who would say that for them as Minister of Finance, they already adopted. So it's now waiting the time for it to be launched or to be published or gazetted by PPDA to ensure that the young people now start implementing. Once it's gazetted, it becomes a public document. And every local government that is undertaking procurement, when it comes to construction of less than 100 million, give to young people. Let young people go and construct the toilets that are in the community. Let young people supply stationaries in the districts and even at the central government level. Let young people, business also find some breathing space. Because most of the time what we learned is that there are cocoons of business people, senior, who have good connections with the local authorities and the central government, and they take advantage of some of this. So you find that all this huge amount of money going into procurement is being utilized by the same categories of people. Yeah. And yet the biggest population, we have many young people with companies who cannot access them. And we're also trying to ensure that for those ones who don't have capital, we have already started conversation with some development partners to come in and lend them at a very reasonable interest rate. You don't need to go to the bank which is going to give you 12%, 20%. You just need, these people will give you the capital you need, and that capital will be in position to support you, to finance you with your contract. And when you're paid, then you give them their money, you remain with the what? with your profit. So those are some of the intervention we're trying to have in place.
Wow.
Yeah.
So as the council in charge of young people, of course, what could be some of the activities, okay, for someone following up this conversation, how can they tap into the opportunities at National Youth Council?
I think one, the person can reach out to the National Youth Councils. We have the office in Tinda, famously known as the Industrial Court.
Is it only in the central? Or is it only in the central or
No,
in any other region?
that is at the national level.
Okay.
To have coordination, where we coordinate with central government, but at the district level, we have the district youth council chairpersons with its team of 11 executive. 11 executive are mostly including the councillors who are ex officio to the district executive committee, who sits in the district local government. And then the community development officer on behalf of the technical people who coordinate all the youth issues in the districts, whether it come to programs, whether it come to the new thing we are talking about, the PPDA act, that is the amendment that is going to allow young people to have access to contracts at the local government level and all that. So they will be having all those information. So if you at the district level, reach out to your district youth council chairperson or to your leader, get in touch, let him connect you with the district authority, and see how best you can benefit from some of this. Because we hold them accountable. They also hold us accountable. So they have the information. If they're finding someone is finding challenges in accessing Youth Ventures Capital Fund, reach out to the district. If the district is finding issues, they'll reach out to us. And then definitely we shall what? Get in touch with the central government, which will automatically act. But if we keep quiet, we don't reach out to the district, they will continue doing their things the same way they're doing. And you as a young person out there, you'll not be in position to access some of these opportunities. So let's be active. We have information, WhatsApp. Get to know what is happening in your district, WhatsApp. Get added on there. You lose nothing by just reading our information and deciding whether to use it or not. But you know, there are very many people. Let's not be you're on Twitter and all these things. We are innovative. Yeah, where you find you're having challenges, text. Some of those group WhatsApp, we are there. If you're putting a concern and I feel like the district is not responding, I can reach out to the person and then they respond.
Okay.
You can say, I've never met my district youth council chairperson. I've been trying to reach out to them, but because of ABCD, I could not. And there we can reach out to the person and say, kindly meet so and so. They have these ideas, and automatically you'll be helped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Career guidance is also a challenge in Uganda.
Yeah.
So I'm here thinking, what can National Youth Council maybe do? Okay, what could be some of the economic opportunities that young people can tap into? Yes, there is a saying that we are so involved in the digital transformation, which is okay. But what are some of the variety of the economic opportunities we can tap into for us to develop the country as a whole?
Yeah, I must say that one of the biggest issues affecting our country, it is unemployment.
For me, that's
we
a
move
big
to the
challenge.
street. For me, every day, whenever I'm moving home, whenever I'm in the village, my heart is not happy because someone is thinking of how they will just survive for today, not even tomorrow, because they don't have anything to do. And that has a lot of impact toward their contribution toward the development of this country. In terms of the microeconomic players, when you look at factors of microeconomic policies, things that need to support the economy to grow. If people are not actively engaging into investing and production, then definitely there will always be a challenge. And that's what we young people are facing. So one thing that I need to guide the young people is that we need to look for opportunities. As National Youth Council, reach out to us. If you fail to access government fund or any other fund that is meant for the young people in this country, reach out to us. We shall reach out to those people. And that's how we can help. Because otherwise we might not know what you're going through. If we might not say that we can give people jobs, it is even the president himself has kept on saying that formal jobs are very limited. Let's focus on the informal sectors. Right now, we're already thinking about how best can we formalize the informal sectors.
Yeah.
There are young people who are having businesses, but they cannot qualify for loans because their businesses are not formalized. Some of these initiatives, I was telling you, the support by the support to private sector foundation.
Mastercard.
Yes, by Mastercard Foundation. How best can they? I think people who are tapping into it are people who are organized. So I think also we're looking at that. How can we ensure that we support our young people to get organized? The country has been talking about oil and gas.
Yeah.
Our young people in Bunyoro and around the country tapping into that. And yet they have a special consideration, supplying food items, supplying the raw materials, doing nothing, like literally. But they will only engage young people who are formalized, who have formalized their initiatives, but also at the same time, they're up to task. So we need also to prepare. And that's now what the National Youth Council is trying to advocate for. How best can we formalize young people's initiatives so that they can benefit from some of these opportunities?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, before we talked about market competition, and not even in the young people alone, like in our country, we have that problem of value addition. For us to have the good quality standards to compete on international markets and even the regional markets, right? What would you say the National Youth Council is maybe implementing, or I don't know, imploring people to invest more in value addition, given the fact that the young people are so we are unemployed? How do you think we can tap into the value addition bit to make sure we earn more for ourselves here?
Yes, that's a good question. But we should first look into what are the challenges facing people already in the value addition sectors. What in terms of quality, in terms of costs, the price for their products. One of the biggest issues that we have been grappling with is that some of our local products by young people are more expensive than the products being imported from other countries.
Yeah.
And as a consumer, you're looking into that what is affordable for you. You're not trying to say how good is this, but what is affordable, because at the same time it needs to serve the same purpose.
Yes.
Yeah. Very few people are looking at what fits me, but for you are looking at how much can
Survival
I
for the fittest.
exactly. So in terms of value addition, I think the first thing that we need to come in, government need to support young people in value addition. And it is, yes, under PDM there's that aspect of value addition, but it has not been very clear on how they are being supported to improve, because look at the guideline, it's not very clear. And I think it has been more of talks. But also, the people who are already in value addition, how best are we supporting? The taxes of this country is too harsh. It doesn't treat everyone the same. Whether you're at infant or you're running, you're subjected to the same tax system. And when you look at, in terms of market, the tax or whatever you're giving out, beside the capital you're investing in, for you to get the profit you want, play a very big role. So if I want to sell my product at a given price, because I think every producer wants to sell their product cheaply, but to also get something out of it. So let me say, in my heart, I want to sell my product. Let me say I produce a banana juice and I want to sell it at 30,000. But I know that out of this banana juice, per bottle is subjected to a tax, maybe of 20%. I need to factor it in. Then now other costs that comes in. So I ended up selling my banana juice at what? At 5,000. Now there's already a banana juice in the market which is going at 3,500. Now, how can you survive with that? So I think there's need for special tax exemption for youth-led enterprises in this country. We are not doing it because we really love the young people, but we want them to jumpstart. After now they have jumpstarted themselves and they're moving smoothly, like for a period of 5 or 10 years, then now we can now start taxing them First of all, they would have employed more people who are young people. And then secondly, they would have been investing into the country. But otherwise, if we don't have proper taxation that can favor the youth-led enterprises in this country, then definitely we are most likely to keep on crippling some of this investment. But also we need skills. You see, most of the products when you go to the market, young people, you might not see it's not properly branded.
Yeah.
And yet for you, you're looking at something that looks nice. You feel very comfortable when you're moving into the market or you're in the public and you're holding it and you feel good about it. But you see that they're not well branded. When it comes into even where they're produced, if you go deeply, most of them don't have capacity to invest massively in capital intensive equipment. So that the product can be produced in a very clean and organized environment.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So you find someone is producing milk, yogurt, but the yogurt, yes, because they know traditionally how to make yogurt, and then go and buy this white jerry can, go to Natha Road and print something, not even concentrating on how the branding is going to look like, not knowing that Bronia is going to walk into the supermarket. She's not going to differentiate between the Ugandan product and the imported product. As what concern is, am I spending less money? And am I comfortable about it? So I think those are some of the adjustments that need to be made. The government need to come intentional, and young people themselves need to invest into building their capacities when it comes to marketing, when it comes to branding, when it comes to PR of their products. And of course now, take advantage of the regional markets. We have the East African community. There are certain items that are tax exempted. Products that are produced in Uganda are subjected to a certain tax amount, not compared to products that are imported from China to access the regional markets. Takes advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area, whereby they're giving special consideration for some of the products within the continent. Now, it can only be possible through you building your capacity and get to know what is happening, what are other players doing. Otherwise, for me, it will always be a pleasure to see young people who are actually prospering when it comes to business, because it's only business that is sustainable. I am a leader. Tomorrow I'm not going to be. I cancelled 5 years down the road, I will not be there. But what is going to sustain my life is what I am doing every day in terms of business.
Well, how would you urge government maybe to invest more in capacity building and maybe work on the policy reforms to favor the young entrepreneurs out there?
I think the National Youth Council, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, the Ministry of Trade, and Ministry of Finance must come together if they want to have conversation in regarding taxation of youth-led enterprises, when it comes to marketing of the youth enterprises, what need to be done, and then if such a program is put in place, let's not be the way I was telling you that the Minister of maybe Trade, because they're concerned with trade, and they'll be like, when it comes to border issue, it's only our responsibility. When it comes to negotiation, it's our responsibility. When it comes to, so we know better than Minister of Gender or National Youth Council. So we are going to do that. But of course they can do it if they want, because our overall goal is to ensure that if a young person is starting up an enterprise, they should have a vision. And that vision should be bigger than them. Now, it's their responsibility now to start walking into that vision slowly. And we should have a supportive hand. Because now I can say, if you have started exporting to Kenya, I know that the product you are exporting is subjected only to 5% import duty or export duties. Then from nowhere, maybe other products are subjected to, maybe other groups of people, businesses are subjected to maybe 20%, but US is 5%, and someone is taxing you 20%. Then it's my responsibility to reach out to Ministry of Trade and say that last time, this particular company owned by a young person, was exporting this product and they were subjected to this taxation. There now it is easy to solve those disputes and those differences, because now we know that we can access Ministry of Trade. We have a working framework with them. Where it needs policy reform, we can engage Ministry of Gender, Ministry of Finance, which will engage URA. We work closely to ensure that we support youth-led enterprises. Otherwise, we are going to be talking about value addition. Our product will not find a market because you're going to produce a chair, and that chair is not looking like the chair that is imported from maybe Italy or China, but you're selling them at the same amount. And then for you as a client, you're like, come on, this one is more glittering than what? And this one, and let me go for the glittering one. So you find that yours have stayed in the store for over 4 years, but the other one of China or from another country is moving very fast. And then I don't know, you'll be discouraged. Be like, no, why would I waste my time producing this? Let me just start importing. So at the same time, in the long run, we're killing the value addition. So we need to have a conversation of this, if in terms of regional opportunities for the markets of our products. What do we need to do? The Ministry of Trade must take lead, bring us on board, and say this is where young people can go. Recently, I was told they were drafting a protocol, African Continental Free Trade Protocol on youth and women, specifically. But how many young people in this country have seen that protocol?
Few.
It might even be adopted. Even me, myself, I just heard. So when we took time to access, let's see the draft protocol, let's have our input as a country, so that when the government is going to present some of this, it is very clear, and we take the information back. You find it like that. So we need a coordinated approach for us to support the young people. Youth Council alone cannot do it. Ministry of Gender alone cannot do it. It needs the players, key players. When talking about ICT, Ministry of ICT must be at the center. Everything needs money. Ministry of Finance must be at the center, and they must feel valued and appreciated. And out of that, when we meet together, something good can come out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, allow me to take you back in time. Do you remember about the expired courses saga, right? First of all, what's your comment? What were you thinking of by the time it was happening as, of course, personnel from National Youth Council? How impactful was it?
Yeah, about the expired courses, I must say that it was really a shaming because this is something that happened because of a mistake from certain people who are seated in the back in the boardroom somewhere, and they're taking decisions, but literally impacting on people who have worked so hard to study in this country. You don't spend a minimum of less than 16 years or 15 years to get a degree in this country. You must, so imagine 16 years, 7 years in primary, 2 years in the early childhood, something for those who went to nursery, and then you go to 6 years in A-level, secondary, 4, 5, 3 years in campus, and then from nowhere you hear that your course is expired.
I know.
Yeah, it was really a very bad thing, but I'm glad that we're able to engage the National Council, the National Council for Higher Education and National Curriculum Development Center. They're able to review. Instead of saying expired, you use the word review because we know things changes. Their argument was that we assume that over a given period of time, things are changing. So the university lecturers and professors and teaching assistants should be in position to update their teaching curriculum and submit them to the what? To the National Council for Higher Education and National Curriculum Development Center. But unfortunately, this wasn't happening. So literally, yes, to some extent they were right, but I think they could have engaged the institution further and showed them that it's more urgent. And of course, there's certain fees that are subjected to pay, but of course that shouldn't limit because the young people, the students, pay money in those institutions. So it's a role of the university to make good use of the resources. If updating a course can take that long, can be all that tiresome for them to do it, then how about certain things that they're supposed to do that are bigger than that? But of course, I really felt bad that people miss their scholarship because of such things, the education opportunities outside this country because of that thing, and the people who miss job opportunities because of that incident, and it was really bad. But I pray that it doesn't repeat itself again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, for employment seekers out there, should we say with a term review, are we safe?
Yeah, yeah. The term review is that because things change, just like our generation. The people were born in the generation of the centuries, but now you hear people talking about generation Alpha,
Yeah.
generation Z. So things change as life goes on. We used not to have WhatsApp, but now we have WhatsApp. So those are things. So it means that within every sectors, including medical, engineering, management, new things are coming up. So the institutions in charge of giving knowledge and also managing the education sectors in this country must also appreciate that, but also must adapt to those changes. Now, the only way they can do that is to do a check on what is happening. Yeah, but I think to the people who have already acquired skills, because let me say I graduated, which I did, of course. I graduated in 2018. But out of that graduation, I have been learning personally. Because everything, new thing, I'm reading new articles, I am joining a seminar to get more knowledge. But that's on a personal level. Now, there's a constituency that enter into the institution to learn. It's their responsibility to give them the information. And of course, those ones whereby they acquired it earlier, I don't think, they were not affected, of course. But of course, the way they communicated, it was a bit late. They would have indicated that, yes, these courses are expired, but are expired within this time frame until, it's being reviewed within this time. There's supposed to be, it was just bad PR that they had, that literally had impact. Of course, the media had to pick it up, and you people had to disseminate it to the public.
Yeah, we were so hurt by that way.
You were hurt, but it was released out. Yeah, but for the good purpose, it has been worked on, and it's now a serious issue, and that's why I don't think it will happen again. For the bad purpose, other people were affected. Yeah, I hope you are not a victim.
I was.
Sorry.
Like my course, yeah. It's all right anyway.
Yeah.
So as we wind up this conversation, Sam, how would you implore young people out there to be more of job creators than job seekers? Because to date, everyone that leaves uni, all we think about is where can I get a job from, where do I start from, applying, and most of these jobs are looking for people with experience, of course. I'm fresh from uni, I've not worked anywhere. Internship is just 2 months. It has not done a lot of impact on me. How can we be ready to be more job creators than seekers?
Yeah, I think one, people should do what they love, because anything that you love has money. In other words, I am saying that let's not look at only education of me living, reaching the university, or entering and leaving the university. After leaving the university, I must get this well-paid, imaginative job which is not there. And then because it is not there, you end up getting stuck at home. No. While you are in the university, as you pursue some of those, the courses you are actually partaking, then definitely you must also explore other avenues, certain things that you can learn. And those things come from passion. I am an engineer by profession. I graduated with it in telecommunication engineering. But to be honest, I've never stepped, the only thing I ended was internship. I've never stepped in a telecommunication company asking for a job.
Wow, yeah. That's
it's not because I didn't love the course, but because I felt like there are certain things I can do better. That will give me freedom to get money than me focusing on being a telecommunication engineer. Yes, but I'm proud of it. So telecom just added value to who I am and to what I want. But to achieve what I want, it was my primary objectives. That's why I started a company, and then that company gets contracts. Yes, I have the management skills. I cannot be like an illiterate within the company. I know the kind of people to put in place. So The same goes to young people. I'm not saying they should start companies, but they should multitask themselves to learn more things, be diversified. How do you present yourself to the people? How do you get the opportunity? How can I do a simple repair? I mean, the university, it takes only 3 months to learn how to repair a phone. It takes only 3 months to learn how to repair a computer if you're doing engineering. When you're in construction, what is so unique that you can add value to in the construction sector, whereby it doesn't need a company, it needs you. So that is now to the level where we're supposed to go. I think young people must appreciate and understand that it might be hard to accommodate every young person who is educated. It ended in a mean era and before 1986. But when this government came in, they tried with their level best, and I must say that beside peace and security that they attain, the biggest challenges this government is facing is unemployment of the young people, because it has far much reaching negative consequences to them, to the politics and everything. But as young people, we must say that it's our responsibility, because this affects us directly. If you know that you can do certain small queues, go and access government fund. If they have refused to, make a lot of noise. Say that, at least talk out of experience. I think that it's valued than talking, and also when literally you don't understand whatever you're talking. You're just annoyed you don't have a job. Yeah, but I really appreciate the young people who are trying. I understand that situation is really hard, but I appreciate them for trying. And let's keep on trying. Those ones who God has blessed and would want them to have the job, will always definitely get it. But those ones that God has given them talent to appreciate and do other sectors, or to contribute to other sectors, they will always play a very big role. Let's not give up. It's a challenge, but we shall definitely conquer collectively. Yeah.
Well, Sam, this is the point. This whole conversation has been so interesting. This is the point. You maybe give us some words of wisdom for the young entrepreneurs watching us today. Yeah.
Yeah. If you are an entrepreneur, allow me to quote one of the quotes by Ziegler. Ziegler said that your network is your net worth. If you are an entrepreneur, or in any sector, it is your network that will help you prosper. Meet as many people as you can in the same player or in different sectors. Interact with many people as you can. Use the available opportunity to market yourself and build a brand whereby if they're thinking about a product, it's only Bronia. If they're thinking about anything regarding maybe communication, it's only Bronia or it's only Sam that can do that. And this is a time for you to do it. Always over time, but at one point, if you're consistent, you will stand out. Yeah.
Wow. For our viewer, thank you for watching us. Continue following us on all our social media platforms, Smart24 TV, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you feel free. And also feel free to comment. Let us know what topics maybe you would want us to discuss or what you would like to hear more. And allow me thank our wonderful guest today, Sam Ogwal. Thank you for the insightful discussion. Thank you for the good information. And I hope, like I've learned a lot from you. Also, our viewer is learning more. Well, thank you for this episode. Thank you for following up this whole conversation. I remain Bronia Katsimi. Bye.
Thank you.